If you take the time to read the 39-page complaint filed on behalf of Tesla's black employees, you would be horrified. Tesla production associates and supervisors are accused of regularly calling employees the N-word. And when faced with complaints about the racist environment, some supervisors allegedly use their own racist language and retaliatory tactics. Now, mind you, this is not the first time Elon Musk and his company have had to address these claims of rampant racism and discrimination in the workplace. Last August, the company paid a former employee, Melvin Berry, $1 million after an arbitrator found that Tesla turned a blind eye to the commonplace use of racist slurs and failed to stop the employee's supervisors from calling him the N-word. The arbitrator found Berry's allegations more credible than Tesla's denials. Arbitration is what companies like to use to keep things hush-hush and on friendlier terms. And then in October, a federal jury in San Francisco awarded Owen Diaz, a black elevator operator, $137 million after they found his claims that a colleague repeatedly called him the N-word to be credible. The environment has reportedly been so toxic for so long that a class action lawsuit was filed back in 2017 against the company on behalf of 1,000 black workers. And joining me now is Larry Organ, founder of the California Civil Rights Law Group. He's a lawyer in all three cases that I just mentioned. And Jason Johnson is back with us. I think for a lot of people, and thank you so much for being here, Mr. Organ, it's shocking to hear that this seems to be an extremely open environment of both racism and retaliation. Walk us through what your clients were going through and tell us what the specifics of the retaliation looked like.
Sure. So in terms of Owen Diaz and Melvin Berry, they heard the N-word from the get-go whenever they were walking around the factory. But Owen had it directed at him over 60 times by two of his supervisors. There was racist graffiti, including the N-word, swastikas, and other things in the bathrooms that he saw as of the second day of his employment there. He complained numerous times, verbally and in writing, and Tesla took some perfunctory analysis, but they didn't do full investigations. They just didn't do the things that employers are supposed to do if you want to stop this. And most importantly, what really makes me mad is this statement about the thick skin by Elon Musk. If he had gone into that factory, you know, this is a guy who said, oh, I sleep on the factory floor. If he had gone in from day one and said, you know, I heard there's the N-word here. If you say the N-word, we're going to fire you. And then Tesla follows up and fires them. It stops there. But that hasn't happened. And that's what's so infuriating is that thousands of black workers have been called the N-word, subjected to all kinds of racist taunts and retaliation, as you pointed out in the DFEH complaint. And nothing is done to stop it. So very, very disappointing.
And, you know, Jason, there's a bit of this sort of tech bro culture thing that I think is happening here, too. So just some of it to go very quickly. Tesla refused to attend mediation at one point when DFEH wanted them to attend. They were like, no, we're not going to do it. The same department found that black workers were being taunted, as we just heard. And then when they complained, they were said, well, they're aggressive, they're threatening, they would get in trouble. They would be accused of coming in late and saying, oh, we're going to, you know, use that to sort of deny you opportunity. I mean, literally, it seems that the culture inside of Tesla was suck it up, and if you say anything, we're going to retaliate against you.
And here's the other thing, Joy. It's like Tesla, Elon Musk has this image of himself. He's like, I'm the real Tony Stark. No, he's more Dr. Doom, right? He's more vicious and mean and bullying. Because here's the thing. You hear about this with Tesla. Do you think somebody could get away with this at Ford? Do you think somebody could get away with this at Honda? No. The people who are there know I can act the fool in this particular environment, and when it goes up the ladder, nothing is going to happen to me. Some of these complaints are ridiculous. I mean, for someone to have swastikas and KKK in a break room, and it takes months for it to be scrubbed down, allegedly. For someone to be called the N-word multiple times, so much that they can count. You don't say I got called the N-word 60 times if you aren't counting past 23 or 24. So all of this really falls into his lap, and he has made it clear that as much as he wants to present himself as this cool guy, he is perfectly comfortable with a hostile work environment.
You know, and then now they're moving to Texas, Mr. Organ. So talk about that, because, you know, I guess it could be seen by some as an attempt to escape accountability by getting out of the state of California, where he is facing this pretty aggressive lawsuit, to what he might believe is a more permissive environment. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Owen's case was brought under the Civil Rights Act of 1866. So he may run to Texas, but he can't hide from the federal statute that found him guilty here. So I think that jurors in Texas are not going to be sympathetic to Musk's BS, and hopefully they will stand up to any kind of racism there. But I do think that the timing is sort of ironic. 3 days after Mr. Diaz got his $137 million verdict, he moves away to Texas. Kind of chicken, if you ask me. But
it could be. Tesla's response, by the way, to the class action lawsuit back in 2017, attacking you, it said, at Tesla, we would rather pay 10 times the settlement demand in legal fees and fight to the ends of the earth than give in to extortion and allow this abuse of the legal system. That was their response to you, Mr. Organ. Your thoughts?
Well, I'd rather be called an extortionist by Elon Musk for standing up for African-American workers than maybe anything else. I wear that as a badge of honor. So bring it on, Elon. No one here is scared of you. Me and my co-counsel, Brian Schwartz, we're fighting you in that class action. My co-counsel in the Diaz trial, he filed another case against Elon. So Bernard Alexander is his name. So, we're not scared. And,
Bring it, right?
I know it's a sad thing, but I think because he has so much money and because Tesla is such a wealthy company, they think they're above the law. And the one great thing about America is the jury system, as our founders decided, is a check on power. And this is a check on Elon Musk.
And quickly, Jason, because we are in this culture where states like Florida are trying to do these anti-woke act things, which would literally prohibit a company like Tesla from even trying to fix it. Because this idea is that the problem is people complaining about racism, not racism.
Right, exactly. I'm struck, Joy, honestly, by do you know how much the abuse has to be for a door person to get $137 million?
Hello?
Like $137 million. Like, what is this Calvin Candy? Are they forcing black people to fight? Like, how gross environment this is. But it is something to be concerned about when you have these states that basically want to become safe havens for racism, right? They're going to say, oh, we're attractive not just to business because of low taxes, but also we won't tax you for bigotry. We won't talk to you. We haven't even talked about the sexism issues that they've also had at Tesla. So that is something that should be a concern. He should not be able to basically state hop in order to engage in a kind of abuse, alleged abuse, that this company's been engaged in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as you said, there are states that are trying to set themselves up, a.k.a. free state of Florida, and saying, bring that here. We're okay with that here. And that is sad because there are people there who deserve to be treated better as well. Larry Organ, Jason Johnson, thank you both very much.